Welcome to the ENT News. My name is Darrill Forde, and today's episode is called Open Your Ears to the Electro-Acoustic Summit. We're joined by Adam Wilson, co-founder and director of the NYC EIS. He's joining us today to give us a little bit more insight on what it is to run this type of show virtually. Usually we would have this show in our Voorhees Theater that is run by our enthusiastic students that are enrolled in our entertainment tech and emerging media departments. But before our interview, we have some video to give you a little example of what you can expect from electroacoustic improvisation. And we're back with the co-founder and director of the New York City Electroacoustic Improvisation Summit, Adam Wilson. Hey, Adam, how you doing?
Good. Nice to see you, Darrill.
How's it? How are you today?
Good. We're getting ready for the show. And to let everybody know that the full title is the New York City Electroacoustic Improvisation Summit. The NYC is important because we only do it in NYC. We do it at the same venue every year, which is at City Tech in Brooklyn, in our own theater, the Voorhees Theater, which is the lab for our live production students in the entertainment technology program.
Gotcha. So where did the inspiration for the NYC EIS come from?
Well, it mostly came from my own work and the work of Kevin Patton. He was a professor here. We both got hired about the same time in 2013, and we were both kind of creating and performing the same kinds of music that involved improvisation. We were making things up on the spot, but we were also developing our own software to process the improvised music that we were doing in real time. And there's a whole community of people around the world that work in this way. And we said, well, we've got a fantastic opportunity here to develop a music festival and give a little bit to the community that we're a part of, and at the same time benefit the students. So we have these fantastic students working in live production, sound, set design, lighting, etc., in the entertainment technology B Tech. And so the students get the opportunity to run the show, and these are our colleagues from around the world who are working in this niche electronic music genre get the opportunity to come and play, and in one of the big centers for avant-garde arts in the world, New York City, and they get to exchange ideas and spend some time together, and also spend some time with the students.
Gotcha, I understand. And we have some images to show you from the EIS. Can you talk us through them?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. Okay. All right.
So this is from last year's concert. This is a group of mine. I'm there on guitar, and that's Jeff Kaiser on trumpet and electronics. It's Killick Hines in front. You can't really tell, but he's also holding a fretless guitar. Both he and I play fretless guitars. And that's Arto Artinian in the back on an instrument called the Hawken Continuum fingerboard, which is sort of like a microtonal keyboard. There are no, it's completely flat, and it has it doesn't have discrete keys, so you can play in all sorts of different tuning systems. And you'll notice everybody has a computer. Jeff and I both developed software systems that that interact with us in real time. Mine, I call it an automatic improvisation system. Sometimes I call it an artificial improvisation agent. It essentially listens to what I'm playing, and then it formulates some sort of variant on what I'm playing. So it makes up some new music, but it's in the style that I'm playing in, and then it plays along with me. Jeff does a lot of signal processing of the data from his trumpet, and he has these huge clouds of sound that are produced by his system. It's very dense. That group has a lot. There's a lot of sound that comes out with that group.
Gotcha. And here's another photo for you.
Yeah, I forget which year this is, but this is Seth Thorne, and I believe he's a professor at Arizona State University. And you can't really see it too well here, but he's wearing a glove on his right hand, the hand that he's using to bow the violin. And that glove he designed and built himself. It has all these sensors attached to it, and it sends accelerometers, magnetometers, stuff like that. And it sends data via Bluetooth to his computer. And that data is used to parameterize some signal processing that he's doing on the audio output of his violin. And that's all happening in real time.
That is pretty cool. That's
very cool.
Very unheard of. We have one more image for you here.
So this, I believe, and again, I'm not sure which year this was. I think maybe 2017. This is Chris Peck and Ling Guringer. I think Lynn is teaching in Michigan, and Chris is, to my knowledge, working for Max, which is he's working for Cycling 74 on Max, and Max is software that a lot of these. It's a visual programming language and signal processing environment, music processing environment, and a lot of these artists use it to make their sounds. He's working there now. Chris had a very interesting. I don't remember much about the technical details of their setup or their performance, but Chris had a very interesting comment during our artist panel discussion. We have an artist panel discussion at the end of every show, and he said that somebody asked, well, how do you get into this? How do you learn how to do this kind of thing? And he said, someone in the audience, and he said, well, it's actually the bar for learning, let's say, piano is a lot higher than learning how to use a neural network to do some sort of audio processing these days. Piano is expensive. Piano lessons are expensive, right? It takes up a lot of space. But you can have a cheap laptop. You can go online. You can use a lot of these frameworks that are out there already for doing artificial neural networks. And there's really a low bar of entry into doing this kind of thing compared to traditional music, actually, when you think about it, which is counterintuitive.
Gotcha. And would you consider electroacoustic improvisation to be a genre of its own?
I would not. I would say that those are characteristics of a performance or characteristics of a practice.
Gotcha.
that don't necessarily have anything to do with genre. So you can see, I mean, a lot of it's possible that you could group a lot of the performances that we listened to at the top of this segment together. With the exception of the first one, which has rock elements. The others you could categorize as maybe experimental or something like that. And we do get a lot of people playing music in the experimental genre, if you could call that a genre. It's just kind of a catch-all for things that don't have a more traditional genre identity, because that's what a lot of the people who come to the show are playing. A lot of them are in academia. But we also are open to professionals who are working outside of academia in any genre. So you can have improvisation and real-time computer systems in any genre of music. Hip hop, jazz, classical music. It really doesn't matter. So we like to say we're genre agnostic.
Fantastic. It's good to know everyone is welcome.
Yes.
So how is it creating and managing this year's EIS compared to the other ones?
Well, for the last 5 years, we've done the show live in Voorhees Theater, and we've kind of established a flow. And I mean, the show can be relatively complex because everybody's got a different setup. They have very complex electronics that need to be booted up, and everything needs to remain turned on, yet at the same time, we need to move them on and off stage without losing power. So we've come up with solutions for things like that. And the show has just gotten better and better and smoother over the years. So now all of a sudden, because of COVID, we've had to, switch gears and offer the show online. And, it's the same, we're doing it the same way. The students are completely involved in fact, they are in control of the production of the show. They're just not physically there. They're behind the scenes, handling streaming servers and things like that. But it's working out really well. And I think we're going to have a terrific show this year.
That's awesome. So for those who are interested in playing or performing in this next year's EIS, how can they sign up?
The easiest way to find out about Call for Works, which we put out pretty much every fall, it could be anywhere between September and November, sometimes even December. I think this year we were as late as December, is to check the website, eis.nyc. An even better way to find out about Calls for Works is to join the mailing list. And you can see the link there at the top of the webpage. Subscribe to the mailing list. We don't spam you with lots of stuff. I think there are 2 mailing list blasts that go out a year, maybe 3. One is the Call for Works, and then we've got 1 or 2 reminders about the show when it happens. So, if you're a fan and you just want to find out, hey, when's the next show, sign up for the mailing list. Usually it's the last weekend in February. When we've been doing it live, it's been the last weekend in February. This year, we're doing it closer to the end of March, and probably next year, even if we go live again, we will, in person again, we'll be doing it closer to the end of March.
Fantastic. That's pretty much all the questions I have for you today, Adam. Is there anything else you'd like to say to our viewers?
Yeah, just come to the show. It's going to be fantastic. The YouTube link for the stream will be posted 48 hours in advance of the show on eis.nyc, and the show will be on March 19th at 7 p.m.
Copy that, March 19th at 7 p.m. All right. So don't forget to visit eis.nyc. And this has been the ENT News. Thank you so much for joining us today, Adam.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, cool. So next week, we'll definitely be here with our host, Jake. Thank you for watching on YouTube and Twitch. And don't forget to subscribe. My name is Darrill Forde for the ENT News, signing out. Take care.